Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of my most excellent videos. In front of us we have the HanRongDa HRD-737. It's an AM, FM stereo, shortwave, CB, air, and VHF band portable radio. Yes, all those in one little radio. I love it. I got this for a total of $36 shipped on eBay. Came from China. Took about 3 weeks to get here. You can buy it on Amazon, I believe, for $47 or $48 and get it within 2 days. But I decided to save a little bit of money and wait the 3 weeks. And here it is. It has a little plane on there. Picture of the radio. Portable aircraft band radio. Enjoy broadcasting. They like to say that. That's their tagline. Cool. Some Chinese writing. Made in China, of course. Here we got some little bullet points. Full band, wide frequency, alarm clock. Okay, battery symbol display. That's a good thing. Headphone jack. Okay, so you get the idea. We'll go over some of those things. Alright, back of the box. This is kind of cool. So it's going to technical index. This is going to show you all the bands. So FM, we have 87 to 108. Showing the stepping. We have AM 520 to 1720. It says 1720, which is interesting. 1710. This goes 9 or 10K stepping, by the way, on AM. Shortwave. This is 2.3 to 30 megahertz. CB. We have airband. VHF. It says 30 to 223. It actually goes 30 to 230. So I noticed that when I was tuning the radio. Shows the speaker, the battery. We'll talk about the battery. Charging, all that fun stuff. So there you go. Got a picture of the different colors you can get. I got the dark gray, and then they have a gold color one. Awesome. All right, so open this up and see what we get in the box. Always fun to open up new radios, especially fun ones like this. I mean, the price point was perfect. I mean, $30 range. Yeah, definitely had to have it. Little styrofoam insert. Throw that aside. Here we got a little cardboard. Toss that aside. Let's see what we get. We got a bunch of instructions. I got one in Chinese and that. We got a bunch of little wires and connectors, which I'll talk about. Get all this out of here. Box is empty. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what they give us first. Of course, the ever generous USB micro charging cable. It's to charge your radio. Yeah, it's glad they include this because it doesn't have a rechargeable battery. That's one thing with this radio. It does not use standard batteries. It uses rechargeable only battery, but the battery is replaceable, and I believe they're easily found. And we'll talk about that in a second. But there's our charging cable. They give us a shortwave wire, which is really nice. They say this is 3 meters, so about 10 feet. It's got a little spring here. I guess you'd hook it to a branch. Take this wire down to your radio and clip it to the antenna. I'm not a fan of alligator clips. I like using those nicer clip-on antennas, and I'll show you the one I'm going to use, my Texan one. But this is nice that they give this to you, because if you don't have anything, there you go. Next, we have a pair of headphones. I don't use the ones that come with the radios. They tend to be pretty cheap. I don't expect this one to be really good, so I just use my own pair. But I bet you they're functional, stereo. They got the little comfortable ear cups. Those are nice. Nice to see that. All right, then they got the wrist strap, which I have to put on yet, so you don't drop your radio while you're walking with it. All right. Instructions, we got Chinese. We don't need that one. I don't know how to read it. Here we got a user manual for external antenna. It shows you how to use your wire. It's pretty simple. One's in Chinese, and then there's your very interesting English to Chinese to English translation. Some of it gets pretty difficult to understand, as I'll show you in the regular manual. That's that. Here is the user manual for the radio, and boy, is it a pain to understand. And they got really tiny print. To really zoom in there, you probably have to use a magnifying glass to read this. I'll probably miss something, and if I do, I'll either put a little note at the bottom, on the bottom here, or I'll just mention it in the description, video description, or we'll touch base on a future video, because this thing has a lot of options and a lot of fun things. So I definitely am going to be doing more than just one video on this radio. So expect some shortwave scans, VHF scans with it, because there's just a lot to the radio. There's your specification that you saw in the box. It talks about using the antenna. Receiving TV sound, or areas where you can get the TV. You can go wide or narrow, which is interesting in the FM frequency. Backlighting, talking about the stepping for the FM, AM. There's the shortwave stepping, CB mode. There's the air mode. You can change that, which is nice, on the fly. And your VHF mode. Okay, it's got auto scanning, which I won't use. Once you learn the manual adding your presets, you're better off. Auto scanning just tends to overwrite everything. So, all right, but that gives you an idea there, and we'll kind of cover most of this stuff here. So I just gotta just show you how that's labeled out there. To just use this really tiny print. Look at that. You really gotta zoom in. Hopefully you can get that all in there, and you can just pause it if you need to. I know sometimes me just showing this is nice because you may get this and lose your manual, and now you have it forever in this video. Okay, let's get to the radio. Comes a little sleeve, which is nice. It also had a protective layer over the screen, which I thought was really neat to see. Let's go over dimensions real quick. This is 2 3/8 of an inch across, 4 1/8 of an inch tall, and a case depth of 5/8 of an inch. So for size comparison, I have its little baby brother, the HanRongDa HRD-104. This radio is just an AM FM stereo. It runs on 2 AAA batteries, but it's the exact same dimensions. The only thing I noticed is that when the batteries are in the gold radio here, this one, the weight is heavier actually than this radio. So it's very interesting, but the weight of this radio is much heavier than this radio. Didn't expect that. I figured it to be the other way around. A little different antenna. You can see they're pretty identical. And then you can see some of the stuff on the back, which we'll show you in a second. We'll go over features. Let's just show for size. Next we have the CC pocket for size. Pretty neat because it's definitely a thin radio. I mean, that 5/8 of an inch thick is pretty thin there, so you get an idea. It's pretty awesome. Okay, next we have, this is pretty cool, the Skywave. Now, the interesting thing is this is trying to do everything this does with the extra ability of doing VHF, which is pretty neat. It doesn't, you'll see as it goes. Some of it does pretty well, some of it does okay. But for $30, it's for fun. I mean, it's just a fun radio to have in your pocket, not on the go. But there you go for size comparison, the Skywave versus this. I'd rather have the Skywave, but it's a bigger radio. Not as pocket friendly. And of course we have Iron Man. Got to show you the Iron Man cards to show you how thick this little radio is compared to the cards. Yeah, going over a lot of stuff here. All right, let's go over features. All right, features of the radio. All right, left-hand side, nothing. Front of the radio, it says wide frequency receiver. Our display, you'll see it has a little alphanumeric display up on top, which is nice. It can display letters. And then we'll have our numeric display. I guess I can tap one of these keys and you can see it. The clock is neat. It runs default with the screen off, which is nice. Our battery level indicator, 24-hour clock. You can change that, I believe, to 12 or 24. And then there's your 4 little, I think it's 4 digits. Yeah, alphanumeric up there on top. Okay, so down here, it's in blue. This is band. Let your band select, so you can go through the 6 different bands. Pretty handy. Set button, setting the clock, setting the alarm. Does a few extra things. I don't know them all yet. I'm still learning. Those instructions are very tough, but I'll show you the fun stuff though. Mode button, that changes your stepping. Pretty important, like when you're on the air band. VHF changes from wide to narrow, and then on 9K, 10K on AM. Memo's important here. This is you get 50 presets per band, and you can add them manually with the memo key. Really handy. I would recommend doing this. I haven't set up my radio yet, but I'm thinking about doing it for the future videos. I'm going to have all my aircraft frequencies on here, all my VHF frequencies, my ham radio, and all that. And we can just go to them really quick with the memo key. You'll see how that works. But it'll be a neat little setup, and I'll do that later on in a follow-up scan video. The speaker here, okay, actually memo keys, so volume up keys. These act as forward and back for your memo also, which you'll see me do. Speaker down here is a 1 1/4 inch or 40 millimeter speaker. HanRongDa HRD-737. It's got a little plane flying there. Pretty cool. I do like this dark metallic gray. It reminds me of the CC Pockets color. Yeah, I like that. Pretty nice. That gunmetal. All right, and then let's see on the side here, we have the tuning, up and down, seek forward, seek down, and also it's like a quick tune. If you guys have any Eaton products, like you have the Field BT or you have the Eaton Mini, there's a quick tune button. Well, quick tune's built into these, which is really cool, and I'll show you how that works. I love it. Top of the radio, we have an antenna. This antenna is not very strong. It's really wiry. You can see how thin this is. Be real careful with it. I am not sure how long this is going to last. I get kind of nervous pulling that out there, but definitely don't push it from the top. This is 9.5 inches. And we'll bring that back out when we go to do a little shortwave scan, a little VHF, see if we hear anything tonight, which I think we should be able to. Top of the radio, we have a headphone jack, which is FM stereo. Neat thing about that is it sounds really good on FM. FM stereo on this radio is great. We'll talk about the FM reception, but almost every station I got comes in FM stereo. It's really nice. We have our DC in of 5 volts. Oh, and by the way, the headphone jack has low-level hiss, not very noticeable on the FM band, but on the medium wave band, it is a little bit more noticeable. So I'd tell you that. We have a DC input there, 5 volts to charge your internal battery. We have a lock button, so you can lock the radio down. If you press and hold, locks the radio. Pretty simple. Here we're power sleep function there. And this also actuates the, what do they call it? The Rssi, Received Signal Strength Indicator. Yes. So you press that and it shows you the dB of the signal coming in. Now, I don't know how accurate it is, but it probably helps as relation to the other stations you're listening to with this radio. So you kind of use it with how this radio receives now compared to others. All right, so back of the radio, you saw me flash this here. This is a chart showing all the frequencies again. Like I said, the VHF is 230 versus 223, which is interesting. It shows CB. Okay, the lithium battery, they're showing a 700 milliamp hour, 3.7 volt battery. And so the battery's in here, and actually you can open this up. It's very difficult. I can't do it on camera because I'll end up hurting something. But what I'll do is I'll put a picture of it. So let's just show the picture. There you go. You can see the picture of the battery in place there. And there's also a plug where it plugs into. So if you can find this battery aftermarket, which I think you can, it looks like more like a hobby battery, you should be able to replace this, no problem. Okay, back to the radio. So yeah, so you got to see that. I didn't want to do it on camera, have an issue, so I figured I'd just superimpose that image. All right, so there we go. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Just press and hold. It's got the sleep function comes up. So right now we're going to do an audio check with radio todderbert. Oops, it's tuning this is volume. So what I do for this is give you an idea what the speaker sounds like. It's rather tinny because it's small. But I use a C-Crane FM transmitter 2, hook up to an MP3 player, playing YouTube download music that's royalty free. And you get an idea what the radio sounds like compared to my other radios I've reviewed. It's not bad at low volumes. Frequency, sleep indicator, battery level indicator. Just for about a minute.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Okay, gives you a good idea there. What we'll do is we'll turn this all the way down. And we'll talk about FM reception reports. Since I didn't give that, let me go ahead and just turn off this MP3 player and the transmitter so it doesn't affect our shortwave reception. We're going to go ahead and do some shortwave real quick. So FM reception. I typically don't scan through the FM band because they have a little notice. Even 2 seconds of copyrighted material can, take and demonetize your video. I don't know about copyright strikes, but they do say demonetizing. So the big thing is here is I like to say that the FM reception is good. 67 stations found, almost a good to very good rating. It's a 3-star. That's way above average. Average is 2.5 star. I go on a 5-star basis. Fair, okay, good, very good, and excellent. Very good and excellent tend to be like elite few radios. So typically I don't have many radios that go very good to excellent. So to have one radio that good is probably one of the top tier. So very impressed with the reception I got with a little 9.5-inch antenna. Yeah, just a little antenna. And by the way, the headphone wire does not act as an antenna, which is unfortunate. So if you're using headphones, you're going to have this in your hand with the whip out there. This it sounded funny. Have this in your hand with the antenna extended because you're not going to get reception with the headphone wire. I wish they would have utilized the headphone wire as a receiving antenna, but they did not. But yeah, maybe because this does other modes and it needs this antenna for the shortwave and the VHF. That's my guess. That's what I'm thinking. FM selectivity is good, along with that 67. I was able to lock in pretty nicely on those faint stations. I was pretty happy with that. We talked about presets already. You get 50 per band, giving a total of 300 because there's 6 bands on this radio: AM, FM, shortwave, CB, air, and VHF, which we'll talk about and show you. So let's go ahead and I think if I just extend my antenna here, being real careful, we'll just show you the FM. I'll show you how this works. I already saved pretty much just one station on my FM. You hit the memo button and you can go up and down with the volume control. So let me just wait for that to default back to radio. Turn it up.
I don't really know what's going on here. And he kind of leaves it a question mark. But both of them, Lapid and
so memo mode.
Mesh,
you can go to your different channels that you saved.
that's their own word. They say stick theories work.
And you get 50.
The natural explanations cannot explain these facts away.
So let's turn this down.
It's amazing.
Over here, you're tuning. You can tune 100 kilohertz at a time on FM. Press and
The
seek.
song so sweet it melts the heart of Hades.
But actually, giving people unlimited freedom is
So, and the cool thing is,
bad for them in terms
press and
of
hold,
producing
it's got
happiness.
quick tune.
If you just
And you can jump through the FM band and see how quick it's going through your FM band. Amazing.
Lyft, Zoom the other day, Pinterest as well. Here's
Awesome.
one that's decidedly low-tech but kind of interesting.
Okay,
A
so let's
company
go ahead
called
and,
Beyond Meat, purveyor of the plant-based
see if we can
but
find out
supposed to
shortwave.
look
I think
and
that'd be
taste like
fun.
meat, Beyond Burger, says it's hoping to
Okay,
raise something
wire
north
here.
of $175 million through an initial public offering. The company is looking for access to the capital markets because it turns out making a burger that at least tries to resemble the real thing comes at a pretty high cost. Marketplace's Justin Ho has that one.
Getting protein from a plant to taste like actual meat is a pretty complicated undertaking.
Get some kind of crossover there. So what I'm doing is I'm hooking up a Texan PL380 wire, just clipping it to the antenna mast there, and we'll see what we get on shortwave. So we go to shortwave. Oh, we got a clock signal. Whoops. I keep thinking that's the volume. My bad. There's 10. If you can hear it, I can hear it. It's waiting for a high pitch tone. Okay, so when you're in shortwave mode, if you hit the mode button, you can change the different shortwave bands, which I find very nice. We also have that quick tune, which lets you quickly get up to shortwave. Look at that thing crank. So we'll let it go past 10 here so we can find these stations. Past 10, we should be able to. It's got a very fast seek there. And of course, you can do that really quick tune to get to places fast. But we should be able to find something here on shortwave. We're currently at 4:51 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time near Chicago, Illinois. And we'll see if we can pick up any like Cuban stations, local stations. Pretty much what I was getting with this radio. But I haven't tried it late at night. I wish there was a pause or a mute. But up on top here, if you hit the power button quick, it brings up the Rssi, the received signal strength indicator. And then I can show you if we find another station. Oh, there's a station there. Cool. So let's save this. So to save it, you just hit memo, press and hold it, and you pick a position with the volume key. So we'll put it in position 50. Tap memo. It'll say memo. It's put in there. So if you tap memo, you can go to your different presets. As you can tell, I didn't put any in except on 50 there. It's good so we can find anything else real quick, and then we'll go to the... There we go. I found that the shortwave is actually pretty decent. This radio reminds me of the Eaton Mini, but supercharged. I enjoy using this more, of course. I'm excited. You know, I get excited about a radio. It's fun. I'm enjoying every bit of this little guy. The price point, like I said, is perfect if you don't mind waiting from China. There's just so much this radio does. But we'll go ahead and just scan up a little bit further here on the shortwave, and then we'll go to VHF and play around there. The cool thing is I'm going to do some, like I said, scans. We're going to do some shortwave scans, morning, midday, evening, and then I'm going to do some VHF scans. And maybe aircraft. Aircraft, I noticed on this radio, isn't really strong. They're kind of weak sounding. It has a squelch feature, but I'm not going to show you the squelch feature because it's not implemented well. So, a little Morse code there, it sounded like. Yep, on 20 meters. So yeah, it's not implemented well, the squelch. So that's the only thing. I noticed squelch only worked on CB mode and the aircraft mode, but it did not work on the VHF mode. So I don't know if it's a firmware thing. But it didn't have the option for VHF. When you turn it on, it will be on for those different bands. Okay, so you get the idea. It's working. I wish it had bandwidth control, but it's a $30 radio. Let's go ahead and hit band. Let's see what else we got here. CB, not going to find much until like midday in the summer. Get those skips. There we go. Get some air there. Let's listen to this for about 30 seconds. See if they come back on. Because you can program your different frequencies in here on the memo. I have 50 of them, and you can quickly go through them with the volume control. Probably what you have to do. But we'll do an aircraft one to up-tune those in. And of course you can search here. You can see how it's searching, and then you can also change the mode, 25 kilohertz stepping. So it goes a little quicker through the band. So you want to search fast. And of course when it finds something, it stops. It doesn't just stop and keep going, which is really nice. Okay. So they're back on the air. Let's change that back to 5. There we go. Come on. This is usually the most active frequency during the day, or at this time. That'll hear. I've heard more chatter with this radio. It doesn't come in super loud like the Skywaves. Okay, let's go ahead and just go to VHF. So, cool thing is we have no weather bands on VHF.
Southwest winds 15 to 25 miles per hour with gusts up to 30 miles per hour.
It's got wide mode and narrow. Of course, you want narrow.
Tuesday, cloudy with a 20. Inland, but only in the lower to mid 50s.
So I get a couple of channels on there, which is nice.
North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday.
I think I get some towards the top here.
Northeast winds 5 to 10 are likely.
There we go.
Limited thunderstorm risk.
It's by Chicago.
At 4 p.m. at Old Airport, it was partly sunny.
I got memo. And we can go to, sure it says memo. There we go. This is a police frequency I have. And there's a local police department not far from me that I pick up transmissions on. I was hoping they'd say something while we're on video. You can do it! And the long wire shouldn't make a difference, but I'll go ahead and just... because I was getting it regardless. We can also scan the band here, so we can just let it go and see if it finds anything. And then pretty much you can go down to 150 and go right back up to 160 and kind of cover all your fire departments and your police departments and see if you pick up anything on those, which is pretty handy. Like I said, I'm going to program this. I'm going to have it all set up. We'll do some ham frequencies, put those all in. I just want to do a basic overview of the radio to give you an idea of what it can and can't do. So just enjoying every bit of this. And we'll let it go up a little bit. Select. Oh, there we go. The transmission there on 154.40. You heard how it chunked out. That's how this radio works. There's no squelch on the VHF, which is, is what it is. Oh, come on, guys. Alright, so we can save this. Save.
41 from midnight, Bob. I'm sorry, 51. You want 41?
Okay, so I think this is fire department.
Negative, thanks, Bill.
Okay, I don't think I saved it. So we save it, memo. Go up and down. Save it in 3. Okay. Hit that memo. Get the memo mode.
No snow fell Monday.
There's my police department. Okay, they're not talking, but the other one was. So, memo.
For Tuesday,
Gets you those stations pretty fast, which you like using. So let's go ahead and turn this off. I think we covered most everything. Let's go to the band.
Tunable, so it can work up to twice as
Oh yeah,
fast.
AM. So we didn't do AM. There's so many bands. Let's go ahead and just retract this antenna here, get that out of the way. So this is good for locals during the day. Pretty much it's all you're going to get. You might get a few semi-locals. Yeah, let's go ahead and just... It's my local sports station, 670 The Score.
When you're going to try Blue Chew and BlueChew.com, you go to
Borough WGN News.
Former
WGN.
Lieutenant Governor Evelyn Sanguinetti getting back in... The FBI will help Sri Lankan authorities investigate the bombings that killed near...
Into it. The cops are off today. They took 2 out of 3 over the weekend from the... Spontanicznie dzięki portalom społeczności.
Give you an idea. At night, it gets a little better.
AM 1160 weather forecast.
The squirrel. WKRS. So it's not too bad for locals and a few semi-locals. That's all I really want for a kind of radio like this. I didn't expect it to do everything perfectly.
We approved over 3,500 borrowers for the
Right.
VA loan program. The 5-minute loan approval only available at Hero.
There's my Cub station. Yeah. So there it is. This is awesome. The HanRongDa HRD-737. Let's go ahead and turn this off and do final thoughts on this radio. Gives the version when you turn it off. Shows the clock. Of course, it does have the alarm I told you about. You can set the alarm to radio or wake the buzzer, which is, I think, pretty neat that you can do both. So there it is. HanRongDa HRD-737. Is it a recommended buy? Yeah, go ahead and get one. You guys are going to love this radio. It's like, you can get this one. I think they show these on there all the time on eBay and all over the place on Amazon. I think they're like anywhere from like 10 to 15 bucks, maybe even up to 20, depending. Go get yourself this radio. It's rechargeable. Over the wire, you get shortwave that works. You get VHF that works. You get all kinds of fun things. I mean, it's just amazing what this radio does. The FM stereo sounds fantastic. I'm enjoying every bit of it. The air band, you got an air receiver. It does work. Like I said, I will get some more air activity on there. I wasn't able to showcase that, but definitely the radio to buy. Go grab one. I'll have links below. If you want this radio, check them out. eBay is one to check out first. I will link the Amazon one because some people don't want to wait 3 weeks. I don't blame you. They'd rather spend $11 more and get it through Amazon and get it 2 days later, start playing with it. I totally agree with you because time is money. But yeah, go ahead and check those out. Support the channel. That's great. No extra money comes out of your pocket, which is fantastic. So if you enjoyed this video review of the HanRongDa HRD-737, please give me a big like. You guys are awesome. Like I said, we're going to revisit this thing. There's so much to it. A lot to cover. 2, if you like HanRongDa radios and you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, get notified of future videos. I'm always on the lookout. I like the brand. I'm very happy with the results I've had with this radio. They have little headset radios. They have shortwave radios, little portable shortwaves that are cheap. And this thing, just for what it is pretty impressive. So I'm really happy with it. And of course, 3, comment below what you think about the HRD 737 for $35-ish. I think it's pretty neat to have in your pocket. What do you think? I mean, you got AM, FM, VHF. I mean, it's like an emergency radio and everything all in one. So you can listen to everything going on out there. It's crazy good. I love it. All right, you can tell I'm having fun. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you watching. Take care, and we'll see you in future episodes. Bye-bye.